TunePocket.com.
Falcon fans, Dirty Fanatics United is back with episode number 23, racking them up here for you live in Baxley, Georgia, chatting about them Dirty Birds. As always, I'm with my co-host, Philip. Philip, how you doing, brother? How you been? What's going on, man? A couple hours away from Dirty Bird Falcon football. How you feeling?
Feeling great. This past week's been great. We went to the game, like obviously last night, high school game. It went as planned. We took down them Bears, so had to raise the flag.
For those
But other
that
than
don't know, we're from a small town of Baxley, and when all you have is football to do on Friday nights, it's what you do. And we took down our divisional region opponent, Pierce County. Shout out to Pierce County and what they got going on. Always a hard fought team. I really do believe Baxley and Pierce is the two headhunters of AA football here in Georgia. So shout out to Pierce and shout out to Applin. Most definitely shout out to the Pirates for pulling away the dub on the road. Huge win. Philip, of course, carry on, brother.
pretty much that was all. It's been a good weekend. The Dogs pulled out the win today, so it's been a pretty decent weekend.
Yes, sir. A lot to talk about here today, man. We are a live podcast, so whatever brings up, whatever y'all talk about in the chat, we'll bring it up and we'll talk some Dirty Bird football. Excuse me, some Dirty Bird football. Real quick, we're going to give you a list of what we'll be talking about today. Short little list. We'll carry you down to Avis Avenue here shortly for some Atlanta Falcon news and updates. We'll, of course, talk about them Dirty Birds flying to London. We have crossed the pond. Shout outs. We'll give an injury report. We'll talk a little bit. Are we confident? Can we bounce back after last week's game? We're still NFC South leaders, and we're also reuniting with two ex-Falcons. So a lot to chat up and talk about here today on Dirty Fanatics United. Philip, before we head down to Avis Avenue on ATL Ho Lane, let's head down to the comments section. That boy Avis in the chat said, "Can't wait for this. Been waiting since last Sunday for your next podcast. I'm your biggest fan." Shout out to you, Philip. DSGB Hall in the chat said, "What it do, fellas? Rise up." Checking in from London himself. He said, "Rise up, Philip and Chase." That's Mr. Lamarcus.
Yes, sir.
For those who don't know. One time for the fan in the chat, checking in from London. Check them out. Shout out to the diehards that are on the road, man. I can't imagine what it's like being on the road in a whole nother part of the world to watch your Dirty Birds and rep the Dirty Birds like a true diehard Falcon fan would. So shout out to y'all that made the trip. I know a lot of followers and subscribers here on the channel is actually in London, Philip. So we're definitely going to have to get a couple of them on when they make it back to the United States and just chat with them about how their experience was. Shout out to Facebook user Tim Riley. He said, "Hell yeah, I'm from Florence, Alabama. I'm called the Bama Dirty Birds." Shout out to you, sir, for repping the Dirty Birds. Are you a Bama fan or are you a dog fan? Let us know in the comment section. Shout out to the man himself, Alberto, 95 North Talk Show. Say, "Yo, fellas, I see the tribal chief is on hand." Yes, sir. Shout out to you, sir. If you haven't already, man, check out One Time for the Fan and also 95 North Talk Show. Right here, Facebook user this Carlo Wiggins. He said, "We can't let really show us up." Carlos, we will talk about that in our later segment. So stick around and be sure to tune in and leave a comment and help us break down the really situation. One Time for the Man said, "We just led out the UGA watch party for the Rise Up Tour." Shout out, man. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour and what they got going on, doing big things over there. He said we had about 300 people in there, man. So shout out to that. People on the road. Atlanta Falcon fans definitely taking over London. Love to see it. Shout out to you, Jack, sir, for tuning in, man. I know you vacation/football-cation right now. So shout out to that. Philip, man, real quick, dog, let's head on down to Avis Avenue and talk about some Falcon news and updates, new signings. A lot to talk about here on Avis Avenue. Stick around.
Yes, sir. Let me break it down for you because you already know we in your city.
We in London.
We in your city. All right, so let me just break it down. I'm gonna bring up a little bit of injury report since we covered up last week's game and everything.
It is with it because
Starting for one,
a lot of injury report after week 3. Man, some big blows.
Our starting linebacker Troy Anderson underwent surgery, and then of course Coach Smith does not. He is very unsure when his time is going to come. When he's coming back, which we all know. And then this on the did not practice list was Edge Calais Campbell. It just labeled as rest. So
yeah, I don't know whether I read up on that a little bit, Philip. It was said that it was non-football related, so it's just veteran resting. He's the vet.
Yeah.
He's the seasoned player. He needs to rest.
Of course. And then we're going back to limited, which is again with running back Cordero Patterson. Same situation with the thigh. I feel like we don't know apparently how bad it is, but I feel like it's a little bit worse than what they what they think, or it's just not healing as soon as they want it to, which is okay. Take your time, And then we have wide receiver Josh Ali with an ankle injury. Don't really know how long that's going to take for him to come back as well, but take your time and get well. And then as of this week, cornerback Jeff Okuda is no longer on the injury report and took first team reps in Friday's practice. We love to hear it. Baby. We love it.
Shout out to Okuda, man. If you happen to see this, man, we repping your dog number 1 all day. Cornerback number 2 here in the A behind AJ Terrell, man. That secondary is going to be really nice when we get healthy and we're on the back end with already with 3 interceptions. JB3, man. That man, Jesse Bates. We could talk about him all day. Philip, any more injury report, dog?
As of injury reports, there is no more, but we do have 2 new signings. Okay. So we signed inside linebacker Andre Smith and released offensive tackle Isaiah Prince, as we all know through this week, And then we also signed.
Kind of weird with the Isaiah Prince because they brought him in and he was like starting reps on special team blocking. I don't know about the Isaiah Prince situation, but obviously something didn't work out. Any more signings, Philip? Was that it?
We also signed Chris Blair to the practice squad and also signed an offensive lineman, Storm Norton.
So receiver Chris Blair, my buddy Jack over at One Time for the Fan, big on Chris Blair. Philip, we mentioned him here a couple of times on the podcast. A guy that definitely glad to see back. Did you say he was signed to the practice squad or was he activated?
Practice squad. He was signed to the practice squad.
Something I would like to talk about that I've read in the news is Timmy Horn, activated for 2 weeks in a row now. Somebody to rotate in there with Grady Jarrett at nose guard. We know we need a healthy Grady, man. So as many rotational pieces we have there, and Timmy Horn's a solid guy, Philip. Last week he had a couple plays that were pretty nice. So shout out to Timmy Horn for making the active 53-man roster 2 weeks in a row and making his first debut in London. So I know Timmy Horn's ready to get out there and show his name. Philip, somebody else making another debut, or actually his second debut in London, Kyle Pitts, man. And we all know the outturn of Kyle Pitts last 2 years ago when he was in London. So hope to see a Kyle Pitts bounce back. Really would love to see a Drake London go off in London. A lot to talk about. Philip,
we got London in the track.
Anything else for Avis Avenue, man?
That is all for our reports today, baby. Until tomorrow afternoon.
Shout out to Avis Avenue, man. Appreciate what you do over there on that corner, bringing news and updates each week. Always good to have Philip here on the podcast, man. And we're going to hit the live chat real quick, man, see who else is in here. One Time for the Fans said, we just packed out a UGA watch party for the Rise Up tour. He said, I'm drunk. Shout out to One Time for the Fan. Jack over there living it up, man. LaMarcus Boyd living it up as well. He said it was epic.
Hey, man, love to hear it.
They all out there repping the Dirty Birds, man. That's what's up. I love to see it on the road. Hope to see a lot of red. Hope to see a lot of red in the stadium tomorrow. I believe it's called Wembley Stadium.
question is, are you watching the Toy Story Fun Day special
I
or
think
the
the
actual game?
wife and the baby will be watching the Toy Story version. I'll be in the living room watching ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
He said, dude, there has to be a reason CP has not been in games. Philip, we got to address this, bro. We've talked about it a couple of times in person, over, over before the podcasts have started. We've chatted about it. And at one point, I was texting you about are we getting ready to trade CP? Is the trade rumors real? Philip, just your thoughts on the CP situation. I know you said a little bit about you think maybe the injury's more than what they have told us. Just your thoughts on the CP situation. Is there a chance CP is traded out of Atlanta?
Personally, I never looked into like the rumors, because of the relationship he has here in Atlanta. It's like a lot of like a mentor type deal to these running backs, things with Bijan and then also Algier. Even with the team, it's nice to have a leader and stuff like that. But I mean, it is a possibility. It could happen, but I just think it's a little due with age with this guy, and of course Smith don't want to come out. Smith don't really tell us the full extent of everything. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I guess in his way it helps teams not game plan for certain things, and I don't know. I just feel like to me, I feel like it's like an older issue. It's not really healing, and it's probably a little bit worse than what they really told us. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
And I kind of lean that way as well with it. I definitely do think if there came a situation where it could benefit the team in the future, to help make a playoff run now, or hell, a second, third round pick for a guy like CP, a veteran, that's huge because that's how you build a team. So Terry and them being a young coach and young GMs, it's something to watch. I would love to see CP here in Atlanta for sure.
Always.
Definitely don't think it's a trade situation. But I do think it's something with the injury, man. I think it's something we haven't been told. It's just been covered up a little bit. Hopefully CP gets healthy. Maybe they just want him at 100% when he returns.
Yeah,
moving on to the next comment. Jeff Wolf in the chat said, rise up, guys. Rise up, Jeff. Glad to see you in the chat, brother. If you're new here, man, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Be sure to heart react, like, laugh, react, something on Facebook. All the likes and the shares matter. Like us on Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitch now. So yeah, Facebook group's growing tremendously. Shout out to everybody that's part of the Facebook group. That's Dirty Fanatics United in Facebook group. So we're easy to find. All you got to do is go on there, add yourself. Just respect the Dirty Birds and don't disrespect other people.
Thanks.
Next comment in the chat, EQRC said, is Pitts going to Dallas? Philip, would you like to talk about this for a minute?
I personally no. That's an absolutely no to me because we've already seen mentions of the front office, Terry and them saying they had no interest of ever trading Kyle Pitts at all. So no, I personally I don't think so.
Facts.
100%.
I would have to agree with Philip on that, EQ. I don't think Kyle Pitts is going anywhere.
Nice take though.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, nice comment though, because I know a lot of people say we don't use him right, but and some people has mentioned him going to Dallas, trying to trade to Dallas, but just clearing up on that. But we seen like people from Terry mention that they've never had intentions of trading him to Dallas or anywhere at all. So, but good mention of that though.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd agree 100%. I don't think Pitts is going anywhere. I do think we have to get Pitts more involved. That's what has the league talking because Pitts is not being, active as people want, as fantasy league members want, or as, people that bet on, different betting apps, overs and unders on Kyle Pitts. Let them talk. Kyle Pitts wants the W. I think Kyle Pitts is happy in the A. EQ said here, he or she heard on another channel. So, man, people talk about it. A lot of people's talking about it.
That was a good comment.
It could not. Hopefully, me personally, I hope it doesn't happen. I love Kyle Pitts. Big fan of Kyle Pitts. Lamarcus Boyd said, met Jeff in Detroit. Rise up, Jeff. Always cool seeing other Falcon members meet up, man, and in other cities. These are two guys that are neither one from Detroit, traveling to see the Dirty Birds and making friends on the road. That's what it's all about. EQ said, if so, for that linebacker 11, maybe. LaMarcus Boyd said the rumors are flying. Pitts ain't going nowhere. Facts. Philip, man, moving on to the next subject here. We don't have a lot to chat about tonight, but we do got a couple subjects for y'all people.
Bring more comments like it too. Chat
Yeah,
with. We can make it a little bit longer.
Whatever you
Because
want to
that was
talk
a
about.
very good comment to talk about, chat on. Certain comments like that.
The Atlanta Falcons have flew all the way to London, brother. Does this affect the Dirty Birds tomorrow morning for us, tomorrow afternoon for the people in London? Does this affect the Dirty Birds at all, the time change? Just your thoughts on having to fly all the way to London and get prepared for a game in such a short week.
I mean, of course, it's going to affect both teams, both like time-wise, because they're like, as of right now, it's probably daylight there. It's total darkness here. Here on the east, it's total dark. So I mean, of course, for them it probably is going to change, but it's football. It's a league. You got to be prepared for any moment. So I mean, for me, it's just more of having to be more prepared to go out there and do your job. Whether you're certain conditions, this and that, the other, you got to. We just got to pull through and just play our ball. We got to do what we do best.
Right. And like you said, it's just every man do their job. But let's talk a little bit about the Jaguars. You talk about a team that come in here, giving up a decent amount in the run game. They're not great. They're not good, but they're not bad. You got a stud in Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. I think we got to get them started early tomorrow in London. We need to see a passing game out of Ritter. I think people want to see that. I want to see Drake. I want to see Kyle Pitts a little more. Maybe
we got to
a little
see
Matt Collins.
Line do a whole lot better job. We got to step up, boys.
Got to do a lot better job. We definitely got to step it up. Definitely got to step it up.
And defense, man, just keep doing y'all, man. Just keep playing Dirty Bird defense, man, because y'all are killing it right now.
So that brings us to our next subject, bro. Are we confident we can bounce back? Is this a game that we think we can bounce back from, or are we iffy? Comment, people that's live right now, check us out. Comment in the comment section. Let us know, are you confident that we can bounce back, or are we a team that takes another L back to back and we fall down to 2-2?
Personally, on my take on this, we got embarrassed down in Detroit. I don't think I feel like they remember that feeling. They don't want to get embarrassed like that again. So I feel like they're definitely going to want to bounce back and take this win because, they're also, I know they probably don't look at it this way, but you're also taking a chance on taking second place this week if you lose.
Facts. We talk about it here on Dirty Fanatics United, how you still are the NFC South leader. Even with a loss in week 3, you come away 2-1. Everybody in your division lost last week. The Saints fall to the Packers, the team that we beat. So that obviously puts us above the Saints. Philip, just real quick, give us a rundown on the NFC South records. Not records. What's it called? The damn
standings.
Their standings. Yeah, give us the record for each team in the NFC South.
Well, starting at number 1, we have the best team of them all at the whole NFL. Which is these Dirty Birds right here. We're standing tall at 2-1. Took the L last week to Detroit, but hoping to bounce back. And then you have this in second, which is the New Orleans Aints. I stuttered. I can't stand that name. Which they are also 2-1. I'm pretty sure they took the loss to the Packers. They blew a 17-point lead, was it not?
Yep.
They blew a 17-point lead and lost the game. Which is in second place at 2-1. And then we have surprise. And third standings, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Don't know how, but they took the loss to, who did they play last week?
The Buffalo. Who'd you say?
The Buccaneers.
They played the Eagles. They lost to the Eagles pretty
That's
badly.
right. I forgot that. It was such a beatdown. I forgot. Okay. So they took the loss badly on Monday night to the Eagles, and then also made them 2-1. And then in fourth place, good God, it's the Panthers, which is
0-3.
0-3. which everybody claimed was going to be the favorites. But where are they at now,
Yeah,
guys? Come on.
man. They're hoping Bryce Young comes
They were
back.
supposed to give us a run for our money. Where are they at now? This is what you get for talking so much trash at the beginning of the season before your rookie quarterback can do something.
Facts.
Like,
Intelligent baller here in the
no
chat.
hate to Bryce Young, but y'all just talk so much, man.
Intelligent baller in the chat said facts. We need to get that W. We will reign supreme as the NFC South leaders. The Aints are playing the Bucks, and although I hate them both, I want the Aints to lose. Facts. We can
Facts.
afford the Aints to lose. That
Yeah,
game, that game, the Aints versus the Falcons. It's all we hate the team, we hate the squad. The hate for both sides is real. Both teams know each other very well. It's a history there. That game is always a tough game. I feel like we could beat the Bucks a little easier than we beat the Aints. Not saying the Aints are any good, but it's always a close divisional rival game. EQRC in the chat said, I believe we can stop the Jags pass and run.
I agree.
100%. Healthy Jeff Okuda, a healthy Terrell, a healthy Jesse Bates. Why not? All we got
And
to get
now
is
we'll do
pressure.
newly Nate Landon.
Yep.
We get him in this game. So hey, let's get ready to roll.
Facts. Nate Landman proved in that Packers game. I believe it was the Packers game, Philip, that Nate Landman showed out and had a good
Pretty
PFF
sure.
grade after the game. So shout out to Nate Landman. Talked about him in preseason. We talked about him in practice camp. We said he was good. We liked what he did, and we're glad to see Nate Landman get to step up and fill Troy Anderson's shoes. Hopefully, Troy Anderson can get back, man. Playoff season, maybe he's here. Maybe the Atlanta Falcons are in that week 2 playoff deep run. We'll see what happens later on into the season. LaMarcus Boyd said Carolina Kitty Cats will be 0-4 after losing to the Vikings tomorrow. That'll be the Vikings' first win of the season as well, I believe. So that right there is 2 teams fighting for a dub. Philip, man, that's about going to do it for today. We've already talked. We'll do this last subject. Reuniting with the ex-Falcons, Calvin Ridley and our boy Philip Aluakon. Your thoughts on those 2 players? Does this game mean something a little more to these guys? Just your thoughts real quick before we get ready to end the show.
If anybody, I feel like it means a little bit more to Ridley. But then again, I don't, how could it? But, he's going to want to, both of them are going to want to bounce back after, they lost last week as well. Now they're playing their ex team. They both going to want to win this game much as anybody else. But the way I say, I don't really see no heat tension there. It's just a cool. Yeah, it's just a good matchup. They just ready to play some ball. Because Ridley did leave Atlanta. And a lot of fans was kind of upset with him. Even myself, I was a little upset with him. But overall, I gotta respect him because the way the way he's carried things. He hasn't talked down on the organization or the team or the fans. It's all love from him. And same with Foya, because we didn't re-sign him, but he also didn't throw shade like some of these ex-players have because we didn't have the money to, re-sign him and didn't want to re-sign him, So, I mean, I just feel like it's going to be a good matchup, friendly matchups and everything.
I'm ready to see AJ Terrell hopefully strap up Calvin Ridley tomorrow.
Down, baby.
Would love to see that. Just being a Dirty Bird, man. I no hatred towards Calvin Ridley, but I always love seeing the Dirty Birds.
I would love to lock him down.
Yeah. So real quick, Philip, before we get ready to end the show, man, I announced on Facebook, Twitter, and I think just Facebook and Twitter and maybe Snapchat, but I announced after 10 merch sales, we will be giving away something huge, Philip, here on Dirty Fanatics United, and I'll go ahead and announce that. Philip, we're aiming for a game ticket. I don't know who will win this game ticket, but it's got to be out of the 10 people that order off of Dirty Fanatics United. Right now, we have 1 entry in LaMarcus Boyd. So, sir, you are entered in a raffle for a game ticket. It will be a home game. Whoever wins this raffle, we will get with you and make sure of a date that you can make it to an Atlanta game before we just give you a random ticket. We also want to say, man, we greatly appreciate everybody that supports us and comes through and orders off of Bonfire. We got some shirts. We will be upgrading. We will have more shirts. We will have hats. Right now, this is just a little test run on Bonfire to see how it works out. And we're just trying to grow as content creators and podcasters. And other people wearing the merch definitely gets our name out there for for Falcon fans and other fans around the world. So shout out to anybody that has supported us. Shout out to LaMarcus Boyd for supporting us and buying a hoodie. He
the
commented
most
here. He
expensive
said,
out of the few.
yeah. He also commented that I'm getting a hat too. So definitely be on the lookout for the Dirty Fanatic hats. They will be dropping soon. Real quick, EQ said, "Get back to running the ball, Falcons, then pass." 100% agree with that. But yeah, man, huge announcement for Dirty Fanatics United. All you got to do is be one of the 10 people to buy merch. There's 9 slots left, and you'll be entered into a raffle to win a game ticket. Be sure to subscribe. You need to be subscribed. You got to hit the like, the shares. You just got to be a supporter of Dirty Fanatics United. We greatly appreciate everybody. Philip, that being said, man, let's get ready for our shout outs so we can wrap this thing up, and those people in London can get ready to celebrate and party for a game that's coming up in a few hours for them. So, Philip, your shout outs for tonight and for tomorrow.
First things first, shout out to the Maplin County Pirates. They did their thing yesterday. I appreciate everybody that showed up and showed out there. It was a good feeling at an away game. Shout out to them dogs for actually pulling it through. They kind of scared me there for a little bit, but shout out to them dogs. Shout out to Kentucky for whooping the Gators. We always love a Gators L. We love a Gators L around here, baby. Shout out to everybody supporting the podcast as well. Gotta love it. And then shout out to everybody.
Real quick, because I think he's still tuned in. Shout out to the Falconator, man. If you haven't, head over to the Falconators page and be sure to give him a vote on the Fan of the Year. The Falconator is running for Atlanta Falcon Fan of the Year, and he's definitely a diehard Falcon fan. If you haven't already seen the clip, he doesn't mind standing up for those Dirty Birds in front of thousands of fans, hundreds of people on TV watching. So definitely head on over to the Falconator. His links on his page.
Matter of fact,
be sure to give him a vote, man.
He's a big enough fan. I'm pretty sure, I want to say it's the Houston game that he's sitting in the box up there, the suite with Arthur Blank as well. I think I've seen that on his Facebook. Yep. That's how big he is. So get my boy that award, bro. Like, get him there.
Shout out to you, Dwayne Ruffin. Real quick, man, since Dwayne has just tuned in, Philip, I want to be sure to give him the announcement. Dwayne, we just announced if you are one of the 10 people to buy a merch, you will be entered into a raffle to win game day tickets. I'm not sure if you're a season ticket holder. If you're a season ticket holder and you do happen to win, we'll figure something else out for you. So be sure to, if you want, buy some Dirty Fanatics United merch on Bonfire, and we will be sure to add you into the raffle. As of now, we only have one person, and that's our boy LaMarcus Boyd. Just for a little sample, I'll throw up a picture of, the hoodie that our boy supported us with. LaMarcus Boyd, man, shout out to you repping the Dirty DFU hoodie. Pretty dope to see somebody all the way in Arizona repping the Dirty Bird, Dirty Fanatics United. So shout out to that. Comment section's popping off. Let's see what we got here in the comment section. Philip, Dwayne Ruffin said, "Let's get it."
Yes, sir.
Dylan in the chat, he said, "What's good? Watching on Disney Plus tomorrow?" ?
Hell no.
Who in the chat is watching the Disney Plus Toy Story mode tomorrow, or are you watching ESPN Plus? Let us know in the comment section, or if you're watching it live, man, let us know if you're going to be in the stadium.
Shout out to everybody out there in London, man. That's the biggest shout out, man, for supporting this team, man. We need this crowd. The love this year is just crazy, man. It's something I ain't seen. There's more of it this year than it was in 2016. I feel like that I've seen. I love it, man. Just keep doing your thing.
Nice to sit in the owner's box. Facts. The Falconators had a bunch of nice coincidences, man. He got to announce a freaking draft pick in DeMarco Hellums, a guy that I think is going to be great for this organization in the years to come. So definitely head over to the Falconators Facebook page, man. Check him out. Be sure to vote for him for Fan of the Year. Dwayne, man, I will have the link in the bio in the description after this live. So be sure to go to the description on YouTube and just click it, man. It sends you right to it, man. We got hoodies, we got shirts, we got sweats. We got like a classic tee, and then I think it's like an athletic tee. It's like that stretchy fabric material. So
Like
be sure to check us out, man. And we greatly appreciate it, man. I promise you, we're going to do the live reel right here on the podcast so everybody be able to tune in and see who wins it live. Lamarcus Boyd says, Section 105, Wembley Stadium. Shout out to you,
sir.
Shout out to you, sir. Dwayne Ruffin said, cool. Dylan in the chat, he said, Ritter got to get it. Got to get it. Got her tomorrow. Got to get it together tomorrow. So, yeah, man. Desmond does got to get it together, but I will say most importantly,
O-line's got to get it delivered.
O-line has got to get it together.
Offense overall has to get it together tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to single out no, but we all just got to be a part. It's a family out here. We all got to get it together, man.
There's no
we got to do this. We got to do this thing. We got to do this thing.
No iron team, man. So, once again, shout outs, Philip. I want to shout out to each and everybody that tuned in. Definitely want to shout out everybody that's in London repping the Dirty Birds tomorrow. Everybody that tuned in here tonight that's in London. Definitely appreciate y'all. Shout out to them Dirty Birds, man, to hopefully pulling it together and getting us a dub. Going 3-1, the first time in quite some years, Philip. So hopefully we can come on this show tomorrow night and you'll have that belt with your shades on and we'll be 3-1 headed to week 5. So
we'll be Captain Atlanta.
Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Shout out to all the new supporters, all the new subscribers. Philip, we're at 231, brother. We didn't make it to our 300 mark by week 4. Was it week 4 or week 5? I think it was week 4, wasn't it?
It was week 4, but it's okay. We'll get there.
It's all good, man. We're growing slowly, but we're climbing, man. We're up the charts. We're going. So shout out to everybody that's rocking with us, everybody that's hit the subscribe button, everybody that's just showed us any kind of support with a like, a share. Definitely share us to your Falcon fans and family. We greatly appreciate it. Philip, man, with that being said, brother, we're getting ready to close this thing out. Once again, shout out to you, sir, for coming through and giving me your opinions on these Dirty Birds. And as always, man, rise up. And Philip, you know what we say.
A-Town down.